Welcome to Charlotte's Wandering Web with your adventurous guide to the good times, Charlotte Tweed. Each week, Charlotte takes you on the journey of a lifetime to a delightful Caribbean locale where the sun never sets on your good life at a great price. And now with her muy amigo, Carib Carter, here's your host, Charlotte Tweed. Hello. This is Carib Carter Clues from the Offshore Club, and welcome to Charlotte's Wandering Web. Folks, let me tell you something. Charlotte's Wandering Web is our newest podcast. I think this is our third week, and we do a lot of podcasts, and this one has skyrocketed to the top. I get a lot of letters about it and text messages, and there's one reason that's happened. I wish I could say it's me, but it's not. And here is the reason. Charlotte, welcome. How are you doing today?
I'm fantastic, Carter. How are you?
I am well. I'm telling you, it's just all sorts of great comments. Everybody loves you. Be nice if they mention me occasionally, but that's life. You got to tell them, hey, come on, say something to keep the guy on.
Well, I love your yellow shirt.
Thank you. Thank you.
Very cheery, like sunshine.
So, what are we doing today? What are we doing? That's one of the refreshing parts of this. It's always spontaneous. What are we doing today?
It is. Well, let me tell you, yesterday we did something new. We went on a real estate tour of the area of Lake Chapala yesterday.
Very nice.
Yeah, so that was fun. They took us to, it was supposed to be 5 houses, but it only ended up being 4 because the last one was rented. So we couldn't get in to see that. There were 4 different houses in 4 different neighborhoods at 4 different price points so that you can see what the homes are all like in Mexico around Lake Chapala.
And what were the price points around Lake Chapala? Gorgeous, beautiful Lake Chapala. Yeah. I just love the videos you sent us.
And I look forward to rainy season. I know that sounds weird, but everything will go completely green once rainy season hits. So I'm excited to see that. But back to the houses. the first price point they had, it was under 150. And then the highest price point we looked at was $279 US.
And these are what kind of, we have I always tell people south of the border, particularly, in Central America, a lot of people don't know that Mexico is considered North America.
It is North America.
Yeah, a lot of people don't. They think, it's Central America starts where I guess it would be Belize, right below Mexico.
Yes.
Yeah. So prices are. I always tell people in Central and South America, there's what I call the 10% solution. You can get a home for 10%. I'm talking from a cozy cottage to a multi-million-dollar mansion. 10% of what it is in the U.S. How does that compare with the homes that you just looked at yesterday?
Homes in Mexico are more expensive than Central America, but they are still more affordable, and I would say less than half the price of what you would pay in
less what?
America. Like I just saw a stat yesterday, and stats in Canada are really skewed because it's such a massive country. So the average house of a home in Canada is $816,000, but Vancouver and Toronto really affect those that median price. But where I lived in Calgary before we left, you couldn't buy anything decent for under 500,000 Canadian. So here, the one that we looked at, the highest price point one that was $279, it was a beautiful home. It was 2,300 square feet.
Wow.
Completely finished. It had a beautiful kitchen, an island, like a breakfast bar in it. I said 3 levels, and then there was off the bedroom and off the living room, there was a cute little outdoor sitting area. And then there was 2 huge upper outside decks because how they build on the levels.
Right.
And it was a beautiful home. So you can get that.
I would say a home like that on the lake in the U.S. would cost at least 5 times as much. What do you think?
I think that is very safe to say yes.
Yeah.
And I know, I said, Mexico. Yeah, Mexico, the housing is a little bit more than Central America, and it is more. It is, but there's a lot to factor in there. For example, that house that we looked at had solar panels on the roof, and the realtor told us that their electrical bills are 50 pesos a month, which translate to about $2.50.
Are you kidding me? $2.50.
$2.50. And there was a lady from California on the tour with us, and my electrical bills, she lives Mammoth Lakes in California. She said, if I turn on the heat in winter, it's $700 a month for her power bills.
Oh, I think I would wager, Joel Nagel,
Mm-hmm.
we do a show every Thursday, Joel Nagel's Global Wealth Fortress Report. Joel the other day, and I don't think I'm telling tales out of school here, his home, I'll bet, is about the size of what you're talking about. His bill last month, utility bill, was $1,000. $1,000. I'd be turning off everything and sleeping in the basement. And you're saying, how much was the home again?
$2.50, 50 pesos.
That's wonderful.
Yes. So there's a lot to consider. It's not, just the rent. I'd mentioned that our rent here last night was about 800, which that sounds high, but that includes everything.
Okay.
For what we are paying here, we couldn't rent for $800 a month in Calgary in any area that you would possibly even want to step foot in.
Yeah.
So yeah, and food prices are still very, very reasonable for eating out, for going to the market. We went to the market every Wednesday. There's a lovely market that goes the whole street, and it's food and local crafts, and there's seafood and meats, and these incredible meat pies that I have fallen in love with. They're 35 pesos. So it's just over $1 for these wonderful little meat pies. Well, I couldn't buy them to make them that cheap. We had two bags full of produce for it was $11.75. It worked out when you do the conversion.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
It is. And let's also consider the fact you have that $2.50 utility bill, electric bill. Also, the property taxes are just. I can tell you this: the home I have in Honduras, is up in the U.S. the home would cost about $300,000. The property taxes, I think, are 13 cents a year or some such thing. I mean, it's just property tax, if it were up here, would be probably about $5,000 a year easily in the U.S. Yeah.
Yes, and that's what they are here. We've looked at some properties that'll have taxes are $24 a year to $100 a year for property tax. So
it is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
That is absolutely fantastic. And now the house the 170, you said one was about 179, right?
150, it was 149, I think it was the lowest price point that we looked at. And it was a condo. It was a 2-bedroom condo. So
on the lake or near the lake?
It was near the lake. It's a new subdivision that they're putting in there. So there's some new builds going in and on the lake. The road, it was a dirt road going by. And of course, the realtor, just point out this is a dirt road. It's not the cobblestone, like a lot of them are cobblestone, but I mean, you're in Mexico. It is different. You have to accept that too. So
beautiful. And what was the top price home you saw?
That was the 279.
279.
Yeah.
And that was huge.
It was, yes.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
I was driving around near, my home is in York. So I was driving a little outside of York a couple of days ago, go to the supermarket, went down a side road, and they had built some, quote, townhouses in a cow field, right? Mm-hmm. They were made of plywood and vinyl, and they were yes, in a cow field. There was nothing around them except cow pies, and they were bargain price at $270,000.
Yeah. The houses here are solid concrete. So yeah.
It's unbelievable. And it was a pleasant lifestyle. Now you sent us some great footage of a walk around the lake, right?
Yes, there's the Malecon that you can go down on the boardwalk. Ajijic has a Malecon, Chapala also has their own Malecon. And yeah, it's very walkable, very walkable.
Can, can we pause and take a look at that footage for a second, then come back and you tell us what it was like on that nice little walk? Is that all right?
That's all right.
All right.
Yeah.
Super producer Gary, can you insert that footage?
Daremos a conocer la cantidad a todos después de que termine el primer juego. Si no desean participar en los juegos, háganoslo saber en el juego.
Wow, that was just a pleasant walk.
It is, yes, very, very pleasant. And there's restaurants down there. And the main road, Cologne, that takes you down to the Malecon, right now it's festive because it's Holy Week. So there's all ribbons across all the buildings, all the way up the street. And there's restaurants and shops all the way up that street. It's, murals and colorful buildings. It's a really nice experience, and you hear lots of music. There's lots of live music here. There's always music playing somewhere.
And a friendly atmosphere. It just looked like a friendly atmosphere.
Yeah, it's friendly. It's comfortable. I had somebody ask me, why are you there? What, isn't it dangerous? They asked me this week. No, not every single piece of dirt in Mexico is dirty. Not every or dangerous. Not everybody here wants to rob you or people have such a misconception of this country. They really, really do.
They still, I think a lot of Americans, you're Canadian, maybe same with it, think that Pancho Villa is still alive. I mean, I think he was killed by Blackjack Pershing in 1910 or something. It's like, I'll tell you another place that happens to, and I'm sure you've had this happen because you are, you're the honcho at escape artists. I'm sure whenever you mentioned anybody Colombia, the first thing to say is, well, I'm worried about Pablo. What was his name? Escobar. And you just say, well, he's been dead since 1993, so I think you're going to be safe.
Mm-hmm. I hear fantastic things about Colombia from everybody who's been there.
Oh, yeah.
We just had dinner yesterday with a lovely couple from the Yukon in the town square, and they had spent some time in Colombia and absolutely loved it. Anybody that I have talked to in the last couple of years, before just before COVID or recently, now that things are opening up, they absolutely love Colombia. They've had a fantastic time there.
Yeah, and it is absolutely low crime. I'll tell you another place. I don't want to get too far off the beautiful path of Lake Chapala, but El Salvador.
Yeah,
I think their crime is down 75%. And I'm sure you saw, what is that president's name? Bukele or something like that?
Bukele.
What is it?
Bukele.
Bukele. Yeah, I was pronounced like it was French. Bukele, the video of him the other day, he arrested, 6,000 gang members, tossed them in jail, all packed in like sardines. And then he held a press conference and said, I want to make it clear. And they get 2 meals a day. And he held a press conference and said, I want to make it clear to any of their fellow gang members that if you try any retribution, I'm going to stop feeding them altogether. It was like, yes. So the crime in El Salvador now is minuscule.
He's a very interesting man, President Bukele. Yes, he is.
Yeah. Plus they have Bitcoin now.
Mhm.
How about in Mexico? Have you seen much Bitcoin in Mexico?
I have not. No, I
No.
have not. Right now, Mexico is still a very cash society. There's some places will only take cash. They don't even take card or debit card.
Really?
Yeah, they like cash. Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah. I like to pay in cash, to be honest with you. Yeah.
I'm enjoying paying in cash again. It feels more like a personal exchange than just handing a piece of plastic over. I don't know.
Yeah, and also nobody can track my expenditure. Not that I'm spending on anything bad.
No, but that's why the Mexicans like it as well, because they don't trust the government. So
Exactly. So, weekend coming up. You have big plans for the weekend down there in. Is it Ajijic?
Ajijic.
Ajijic. AJ.
Ajijic.
No wonder I can't pronounce it. Okay. So what are the big plans for the weekend?
Well, it's Easter weekend coming up, so they have a very interesting ceremony coming up. Like I said, it's the most important week in Mexico. Mexico is predominantly Catholic, so there's an old Catholic church, San Pedro, I want to say it's called, in the center of town here. And on Palm Sunday, which was last Sunday, they actually had a procession. Gosh, it was probably 7 or 8 blocks from one end of the street, going all the way down to the church, into the church square. They covered the street with alfalfa rather than palm fronds. And they had enacted a play of Jesus coming into Jerusalem for Palm Sunday.
Beautiful.
So yeah,
Wow.
it was really neat. And there was a ton of people there. The streets were packed with people watching this. So then tonight, they're actually doing another part of the ceremony. We're trying to figure out exactly where it starts based on the newspaper. It sounds like it starts down at the volleyball court in the Malecon by the lake. And the procession heads up into the hills where they reenact the Garden of Gethsemane. And then the soldiers take Jesus away. And then tomorrow at 11 a.m. in the square for Good Friday, they reenact the Passion Play and the trial of Jesus in the church square. So
fantastic.
So it's really, really interesting to see, and so refreshing to see too. Yeah. And then everything kind of goes quiet, and the big celebrations happen. There's a resurrection celebration on Saturday night, and fireworks, and all the church bells go off. And then Sunday is to stay at home and be quiet with your family.
You know what? I really love that. I got to tell you now, confession, I'm a Methodist minister's son. All right. So that kind of thing really, I just love.
Yes.
It just, I think, is good for the heart. I really think so.
It is. Yeah. It felt really good to be there. And we're Lutheran, so, we relate to it as well, know all of the history and that type of thing. So, yeah, it was wonderful to see and wonderful to be a part of. I've been to lots of passion plays, but I've never seen them reenacted in the streets in the real time of Holy Week.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's really neat.
And they have fireworks to mark the resurrection.
Yeah, on Saturday night. They're a little early.
It's a little early.
Yeah. And Sunday is supposed to be, they say in true Mexican fashion, they celebrate everything a day ahead. So that's why it's Saturday night, and then Sunday is to stay home and be with your family and enjoy quiet time.
I have to say, I think that's very, very, they're much more spiritual and family based, aren't they?
Yes, and very, very family based. We found that really all through our travels through Central America too. Very strong family connections. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have a stock thing that I did that we have some money coming in. And so I said to my wife, who's, Honduran, okay, Princess, what do you want to do with some of the money? And as you can imagine, her first response was, send it to my mother. It's like, well, of course. It's just,
Yeah.
and which is very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Which is very, very nice. Yeah.
They take care of each other. They
Yeah.
take care of each other. Yeah.
So it's a good atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. That is great. Well, this has been once again a lovely. Now, are you going to be able to shoot some footage of any of the celebration that we can look for next week?
Yeah, and I took some from Palm Sunday as well. So
Oh, good.
I'll see where it depend where I get in the crowd because there will be a lot of crowds. But I hope to take some tonight and then take some Good Friday as well. So
Great.
I can
Well,
forward that one.
all right. As usual, this has been terrific. This has absolutely been terrific. And as I said, because you see comments too, you're really a hit. This is wonderful. I just love it.
It's fun. Yeah.
It's great. It's
great
fun.
great to share the experiences and help dispel the myths and the fear that's out there. There's too much fear.
Yes.
Yeah, too much fear.
Yeah, you are ending the Mexico phobia. Excellent.
Yeah.
All right, Charlotte, thank you very, very much. Thank you for once again letting us join you on Charlotte's Wandering Web, and we will see you next week.
Excellent. Thank you,
Thank
Carter.
Fantastic. It's just absolutely, I wrote the other day, it's always insightful and delightful. And it was once again today. So folks, we will see you. Have a wonderful weekend, and we will see you next week on Charlotte's Wandering Web. Let's do this thing.